Well, howdy, tubers. Well, I had two requests today, or well, I guess in the past couple days, for a couple videos. One of, and I'm guessing he means the engine compartment on the H5, and then had one for my oil cooler on the Ultra Cruiser. So the guy on the Ultra Cruiser's name was Gene, spelled Jean, I believe it was, and I guess I can say his last name since it wasn't all of his first name. E. Davis wanted video of the engine and exhaust on the H5. So here we go. Well, first off, of course, now, and I wrote him back and told him that I had a, don't look like you'll be able to see that. There we go. That this has a, I guess it probably wouldn't be Scott Kassler, but he's the one that did it, but a Scott Kassler, sorry about it being all dirty. It's an oil pump cover that has the outlet for the oil to go to an oil filter / oil cooler, and then it returns to the bottom of the engine. Now on the H5 I couldn't do that. I had to return it to the top of the engine, but then I've got a oil filter up there. There we go. Oil filter up there, so it goes from it comes out of the oil pump, goes to the oil filter, from the oil filter, then it goes, goes down here, and I've made solid lines, and then into flexible lines, and then of course the lines had to go up inside because the oil cooler is in there, and then of course come back out, and then this line returns to the engine. So I hope that's a play on words here, quick and dirty show of how the oil cooler is hooked up. And now we'll do the H5 engine compartment and exhaust. Like I wrote back and told E that I'm not sure if somebody didn't make these heads, or if, the headers, or if they're, just by looking at the welds, I would almost say that they're not a factory made. They're probably Tommy made, I'll call them. And of course, that's my baffle, I guess you call it, for your carb heat. And on this here, okay, well here you can see this is exactly the same. Well, I don't know about, well, maybe it's exactly the same as what it is on the Ultra Cruiser. At least it's it comes off the front of the pump, and then that goes back to my oil filter, which you can't see the filter, you can just see the top of it, and then it goes from the oil filter down to the oil cooler, and then up from the oil, or then from the oil cooler goes to here to return. Since if you can see down below, there's a blue cap. Let's see if I can see where my finger is in relationship for the, well, anyways, there's a blue cap down there that I had to plug because I couldn't get the line onto there. And Scott Kassler said to just return it up here. So the oil comes out from here and then goes through the filter, through the cooler, and then back into here. And I don't know how much more engine that E wanted, but of course that's Of course, I designed whatever the chromoly mount to fit the H5 and to fit the Scott's engine. This is their, I guess you'd say PCV valve, which there isn't any valve like on the Ultra Cruiser, but that's just the pressure that builds up inside the engine that just bleeds off there. And I know I had that one time. I had it where I had cut it at an angle at the bottom, and it was pressurizing the crankcase more instead of relieving the pressure and blowing oil everywhere. I figured that out real quick. And then, of course, this is a secondary electronic ignition, and the magneto is down here for your primary or first. You start it on the magneto, and then once it's running, then you turn on the secondary ignition, because the secondary ignition is set at, if I'm going to say this right, it's already advanced. I was going to say 16 or 26 degrees or whatever it is. I think it's 16, and it's already set at that advanced location. So if you try to start it, it's going to fight the retarded timing on the magneto when you try to start it. And there have been people who have their fingers cut off if they tried to start it with the electronic ignition only. So don't do that. Good way to lose fingers. And can't get these kind of spark plugs anymore. These are junk Autolite, but they're aircraft type plugs, and not available anymore, at least in America. I think I did find online where there's where you could get some in somewhere around the world. So anyways, I think Hummel is going to go back with regular spark plugs, and so I've took these home and bead blasted them and put them back in, and then of course now this, of course, we've got dual ignition, so I've got other plugs underneath, but they're just regular, and I think they're 10 millimeter thread. I think it's 10 or 12. It's smaller than this 14 millimeter. So if need any more video or pictures or whatever of the engine, either E. Davis or Gene, well, I'll get this long video on there, my word. But E said he don't care about the long videos. So anyways, so hope everybody's staying safe. Spiker's doing okay. Is that right, Spike? Well, maybe not. Bye. There you go. Because there's a guy there's a subscriber on here that's wife likes seeing Spiker. So get a close up of him. Spike. Do you want to go fly? Well, we were going to fly down to have barbecue, but there's storms in between there and here, so maybe we'll just run up to Excelsior Springs and have try a hamburger this time, or cheeseburger rather. So I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, hope everybody's staying safe, and there you go, and God bless.